Welcome to Custom Made in New York podcast, reminding women of their worth 1 week at a time. This show is dedicated to all women, custom made especially to win. I'm your host, Raven Joseph. Hey everyone, welcome back to Custom Made in New York podcast. I'm your host, Raven Joseph, and on this week's episode number 27, Don't Be a Slave to Your Device, I just want to talk about the importance of setting boundaries when it comes to the use of technology. Like so many of us, we work hard and we want to make sure that we're being productive and we're getting things done, but sometimes it gets in the way of our wellness. It gets in the way of us being our best selves. You may think that answering an email right away is a good thing. You may think that being on social media all the time and responding to people and commenting and socializing is a good thing, but it can be a bit counterproductive when it comes to our wellness because we're not being present, because we're so focused on what's going on in our devices and not what's going on around us. So I just want to encourage you all just to be considerate of that and to even think about it, because so many people, especially people that I know, don't even realize that it's an issue. Business, 9-to-5 people, corporate people, teacher, like everyone who thinks that, oh, it's part of the job. When do you shut it off? I just want to start with just asking a couple of questions out loud. I want you to think about these questions and to see if this is even applying to you, because you may not even realize it. There are a couple of people in my life who don't realize it, and it irritates me. Do you find yourself checking your phone every often? Like, how often do you check it? Do you check it when you wake up, as soon as you wake up in the morning? Are you checking it when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? Do you have to check it during breaks? Do you feel really irritated when you can't check your phone because the Wi-Fi is down, or because you're in a long meeting and there are no devices allowed? Do your family members complain about you using your phone all the time or responding to emails? Do you respond to emails in your car while you're driving or while you're walking in the street? There's some signs. Where was I when I saw these signs? It wasn't in New York. Where was I? I don't even travel like that, so I don't even know why I don't remember. But there were markings on the floor saying pick your head up, because people are always on their devices, glued to their devices, and literally walking into the middle of the street. They may have it in New York, but I don't think it was here that I realized it the first time. But yeah, are you productive with the amount of time you spend on your phone? How much time do you actually spend on your phone? Is it more than 20 minutes a day? Do you feel like your online life is more exciting than your real life? Do you constantly have to post about what you're doing, where you are, who you're with? Do you feel like when you don't have your phone, your device, you're missing out? When you can't check your emails, you're missing out. When you can't log on to your social media accounts, do you feel like you're missing out on anything? If you feel more than 3 of what the questions that I just asked, you may have an addiction to your device. I'm just letting you know. It's not fair to yourself, and it's not fair to others for you not to be present. So I just wanted to share with you some ways that I have set boundaries with social media. And especially now that I'm back to work, this is my third day back in the building, I'm kind of irritated because one of the boundaries that I put in place, it's being disrupted because there's expectations for my job. So because of COVID, and I am a teacher, I teach for the Department of Education, we have to fill out a form on our phones. So we have to fill out a survey prior to us entering the building. One of my boundaries that I have with social media is that I don't go on social media until 10 o'clock in the morning. It has to be at least 10 o'clock. And I don't check my emails until I'm actually physically at my desk and my time has started. So even if I get to work an hour ahead of time, I'm not checking my emails. That's my personal time that I don't get paid for. And I'm using that time to make sure that I'm getting stuff that I want to get done and being more productive so that I don't have to stay late or work through my lunch. I come in early, I get stuff done. And another reason I come in early is not even because I want to come in early. Sometimes it's because I can't find parking, so I have to be there early. It takes me 20 minutes to get to work, and Today, it took me less than 20 minutes to get to work, but it took me 40 minutes to find a parking spot, okay? But I was still on time, but that, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm already irritated in the morning. So I feel like me having to remember to use my device to fill out this survey so that security guards can see it and enter in the building, which I feel like the survey is BS anyway, because they're asking me, have I been in contact with anyone in the last 2 weeks of COVID? Has anyone that I know traveled and things like that? People can easily lie about stuff like that. Like, why do we have to show you that? Why? I don't get how this prevents. I'm trying to think of the logic. Maybe y'all see it and I'm not seeing it right now as I'm talking about it, but I don't get how it prevents. Stay behind home if you feel like you have a fever or you know that you've been in contact. I don't think that we should have to like fill out a survey every morning before we enter the building, because anybody can put any response. But I do like that they do take your temperature when you walk in the building, because I think that although there are people with asymptomatic symptoms, it's better to be able to at least like get rid of majority. If there's people have a fever, they don't enter the building. I think that is fair. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic, so off topic. I do apologize. Maybe because I haven't vented today. I just need to get that off my chest. I apologize. But yeah, so I usually don't check my emails until 10 o'clock. So I just feel like, my social media till 10 o'clock. So I just feel like it's tempting that I have to go on my phone for one thing, and then I'm going to be on my phone. And I just don't want to be tempted to like go on social media while I'm on there. I just feel like if I don't open my phone, then this won't happen. So yeah, I'm kind of irritated with that. But that was one of my things, is just making sure that setting boundaries was making sure that I didn't check my emails, my work emails, until I either got everything that I needed done for myself during my personal time, or it's the start of my work day. That was me setting boundaries. There was also this app, I don't remember what it's called, but I'll definitely put it in the description, and it's free. And it limited my time. So I would put 10 minutes of social media, any of the apps. So it's like, I don't remember what it's called right now, but like it's any app use. So even Candy Crush was a little addiction for me. Like, it's like I stayed off of social media, but I was finding other things to occupy my time. But what I like about this app is that it helps me to stop doing all of this, because me being on Candy Crush, just because I'm not on social media, just because I'm not reading emails, just because I'm not on, what's that app called that you get to decorate the homes? I really like it. It's Design Home, I think. I was addicted to that at one point. It's still preventing me from being productive. So just closing out the apps altogether at 10 o'clock at night, I could not go on any apps until from 10 o'clock at night to 10 a.m. It's like blocked me. So anytime I tried to open the app, it would remind me and give me like a motivational quote or something like that. And on the weekend, I couldn't be on the app more than, I don't remember, I think it was 20 minutes on the weekend. But yeah, because I feel like I don't want to be obsessed with my phone. I don't want to be, it's just not healthy. So I feel like with that time, because social media, especially on Instagram, it shows you how much time you spend using the apps. And this app that I'm going to tell you about, I don't know if it's on iPhones, but it's definitely for Android. It tells you how much time you spent on individual apps. Any app that's downloaded to your phone, it tells you how much time you used on it. So I think it's pretty good. And it kind of like turns your stomach when you see that you've been on an app for 2 hours in one day. Like, what could you have done with that 2 hours? You could have done something else that's more productive. Like, for you business entrepreneurs, there are things like Hootsuite. I have Hootsuite where I upload my posts ahead of time, because I honestly don't care to post all the time. I am managing my brand, and my partner feels like I should do it myself, because I know myself better than anybody, rather than pay somebody to do it. But I'm so tempted to pay somebody to do it, because I don't like to have to think of things to post. Like, I like to post when I feel like posting, and it's not always often, but I'm getting better at it. So yeah, so making sure you monitor your time is one thing. So if you can't do it yourself and stick to it, get an app that blocks you from opening your emails or opening your social media accounts prior to a certain time. Turn off the notifications. I did that years ago. I don't have any social media notifications come on my phone. Even my text messages, the text messages don't vibrate or don't make a sound. They actually just show up in a notification. So when I finally look at my phone, then I'll see that there's a text message, because I don't want to be a slave to my device. Like, I don't want to have to run every time I hear a notification coming off. And that leads me to saying, like, people shouldn't expect you to be responding to your emails, responding to the notifications every time. Like, this wasn't like how like, it wasn't like this when we were growing up. For those of you, I'm in my 30s, but it wasn't like that. Like, we had to go home and use the house phone, and we had to share that phone with our siblings and our parents. And at one point, there was no call waiting. So, like, us having to respond to people as soon as that happens, like, that's too invasive. Like, where is the boundary between yourself, taking care of yourself, and giving yourself to the rest of the world? Think of how many people have access to you. How many social media platforms do you have? Even in your business email account, how many people can access you through there in the blink of an eye? Like, do you have a personal assistant that responds to these calls? I don't think so. Well, for the common person like myself, I don't have anybody that monitors that. So that means that I have to monitor that. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, it was a Sunday too. I just happened to check my business email. I don't check my emails the first time I wake up. Okay. I do my routine, and I don't even know. I picked up my phone and just went on my business email, not thinking anything. And I got a nasty email from a vendor, and it was so inappropriate. And it, like, my whole mood was just like, wow. And it ruined my mood. And I was just like, that's what you get. Because you're not supposed to check your emails as soon as you wake up. I know that. I know better. And that's one of the reasons, because even I'm a person. So if I see something I don't like, it's going to ruin my mood. So why not just avoid that and wait till I've gone through my routine, which I usually do, and I'm able to face the day. And that's one of the reasons why I don't have my work email on my phone. This is my business email, but my work email, y'all don't pay me to be responding to y'all. So when I feel like checking my email, then I'll check my email. I would say I'm kind of happy that I did check my email this week, because with all the nonsense going on, I definitely thought I was supposed to be back to work today, and I was supposed to be back to work 3 days. And had I not checked my email, I wouldn't have known that. So that's the one time I'm like, oh my gosh, I woke up in the middle of the night and randomly checked my email. That was God not wanting me to get docked for not coming in the first day back to work. So that was interesting. But yeah, just making sure that you have control of how often you respond. And it's not like every time the notifications go off, you're doing that. If it's too much for you, you have every right. Especially if it's not a work phone, you have every right to take the email off of your personal device. So you're either having to go on the web, and you can set a time for that. So say, for instance, I'm not checking and I kind of talked about this last week, I'm not checking my work email after 6 p.m. That's family time, and I'm setting that boundary. So during that time, I'm going to be present with my family and friends. So even on social media, I know social media, especially during this time, it has been so important for us because we needed to connect. We do. And I just feel like now that things are opening back up, I don't think that it's wise for us to get into the habit of using social media as a place to interact solely. I really think that it's important for us to make time for the people that are important to us. So even if you just created a list really fast and of the people who are most important to you, and find time during your month to make a date with them, to see them face to face and to engage in conversation, no devices included, right? And even with your family, if you feel like your family members, and I see this all the time, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this, they are on their device. Like if you're in a relationship and it's date night, then maybe you should make a rule within that saying that no devices, no looking at work email or social media while you're on your date. It's a form of respect. You need the person that you're engaging with, whether it's your siblings, your parents, a loved one, a friend, you should give them respect. I remember a time where, and this person is not in my life anymore, but like trying to have conversations and they'll be on their phone. Like that really irritated me, because you could be texting me rather than me hanging out with you. Just text me, because I don't need to sit here and watch you be on your phone every 5 seconds when I'm trying to have a conversation. That's really disrespectful, I think, to other people. A lot of the times I think that because we are so unhappy with how our lives are in the present, we look to social media to fill that void. And I challenge you, if you're that person that feels like social media is bomb and it's the greatest thing to man, and have to be on it, it's like that's your joy for your day, then I don't think you've experienced life how you should experience it. And I think that you should try to find other things that you're interested in, try to find new hobbies, or maybe you know what you're interested in, try to do that more than being on your social media or answering emails. I think it's super important for us to create a life where we're happy, of happiness. And you can become drained if you're constantly responding to every notification. We're for those of us who are active on social media and we have jobs, how many emails do you really get per day on your personal email account and your work email account, notifications on social media? It's draining. Sometimes you have to set aside time for yourself. Sometimes it's really just important for you to set aside time for your family, your friends, and the things that are most important to you, because you don't want that to dwindle. You want to make sure that you're keeping that strong, keeping yourself strong mentally, right? So that you can do better and you are more productive and you're happier. So again, some tips on how to set boundaries is setting a time to check your emails and social media, making sure that you remove the notifications from your phone, or you remove your work email from your phone. You're training the people around you, your friends, your family, your work, that you're not responding at every notification. You're being present with the people around you, so you're engaging in conversation and you're not on your phone, but they actually have your undivided attention, especially for those who you care about. And also, even looking at social media, pay attention to who you follow. Because the main reason that I'm even talking about setting boundaries is because it's so important that you don't want life just to pass you by and then you look at it, you look up and you're just like, wow, the last 4 years passed away and like I spent 20 hours a week on social media and nothing good happened for myself, really. You know, you want to create a life worth living. So it's really important for you to engage with people and to have the courage, if you don't have the best relationships with your friends, your families, to find networking groups. You can use social media for that. So yes, I'm not saying delete your social media, never use it again, but use it to be productive. Use it to find things that you're passionate about, people who have the same interests as you, possibly find events and things like that, new things to try, and have fun with it in that way. Don't use it to stalk people and obsess over the lives that other people have that you think is their best life or is the best life, and it's really just all for show, right? So yeah, so be healthy and wise and set boundaries when it comes to the technology use, because it's so important for yourself and the people who care about you most. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at custommadeinnewyork. And if you have any questions, feedback, comments, you can email me custommadeinnewyork@gmail.com. I'm so happy that you tuned in this week, and thank you for listening. Take care.